task-specific exercise, the muscle, that tibialis anterior, its primary job is to stop the foot from slapping on the ground. When I go to swing my leg and put my foot on the ground, I don't want what we call a foot slap, or I don't want to dangle and catch my toe as I swing it through the air. But that muscle is most active during heel strike to the ground to foot flat. So we want to really load the heel with our ball of our foot being held up. Now that muscle is what does that. Now if I have a cane, I'm going to use the handle under the ball of my foot, right under there, to hold that foot up. Now at home, you'd want to do this as much as you could opportunistically. So let's say you have a hallway in your house. I can substitute a wall for my cane to hold my balance. I'm going to use the cane handle, holding the bottom of the cane, to hook under my foot, and I'm going to try to walk just on my heel. So if I have a right foot drop, I'm going to try to activate that right tibialis anterior by helping it up into the position I want it to be able to go to. So I want to get that 10 degrees of dorsiflexion or so in my heel. So I want to get that going, and then I want to hold it up in my hand, and I can just load back and forth like this in one spot if I don't want to worry about walking down the hall. Or I'm going to try to walk down the hall, if there is one in the house, without letting my foot flop to the ground. So I'm going to use the cane to help me. I'm just going to load through my heel. So I'm heel walking only on that right side. The cane is going to be required to keep that from slapping down, but that's what really activates the messaging to that muscle. Plus, this is the same functional activity you want to be able to do. If you want to get this muscle to fire the right way so you can walk normal, then it makes sense that your exercise should be a form of walking. So use the cane handle under the ball of the foot to hold that foot up in a dorsiflexed position here, so it's not flopping down like so. And then just try to shift your weight from the left leg, in this case, to my right weak side, and just try to not let the foot fall down. And then once I have the hang of that, see if I can walk using the cane as assistance. From the cane, if I feel like, okay, I can do that for a couple weeks, and hey, if I get a little trace of life, so when my foot's off the ground and I get a little bit of action, that's a good sign that you can wake this up. If you just get a little bit of a trace contraction, pulling it back. From there, we can transition to like a rubber band version of hooking it around the foot, and that will allow a little bit more movement. And then from there, get rid of the rubber band and hopefully be walking normal. So you're going to start with this cane activity to give it a really good hold in the position you want to get it to be strong, and then train and just load, release, or walk down the hall. But you should be doing thousands of repetitions to re-educate a nerve. It's not like your typical exercise. Nerves have very slow metabolism, so you want to speed up your body's metabolism, the whole thing, that's cardio. And then you want to go after that muscle and say 1 and 2 and message and message and message and message. It's not how hard you try for nerve, it's how many times you send the message. So it's more like trying to practice something like a musical scale on a guitar. If I never played guitar, how many times would I have to practice before I made it sound good? It's thousands of repetitions. Very tedious, very frustrating at times if you have the situation. But the only way out is to try to get your blood flow and oxygen feeding the area that's shut down, and then sending electrical messages through the very wire that's having trouble conducting, and trying to wake it up and encourage it to maybe get one end to the other to kind of come back and connect and turn back on. So that's the strategy for a foot drop. Try that, but again, you're looking at weeks to months. Anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months is your best window for recovery of a nerve shutdown. If it goes past 3 months, then it's not quite as good a prognosis. So the sooner the better you get on this. It's very important to try to get that nerve to wake up. So try that and see how that works, and then from there you can go and start to do other more creative activities.